I turn challenges into clarity and transformation. Through storytelling, strategy, and empathy, I help individuals find their voice, navigate change, and create meaningful impact. By embracing both the struggles and strengths of life, I empower others to move forward through confidence, authenticity, and purpose. Signorelli's 6-step story brief process will be how I will define my personal brand story. Step 1, the backstory. From a young age, I have been drawn to telling my story, explaining myself, problem solving, making sense of the world. My journey has been shaped by a deep curiosity. I always want to know why and how something is happening, what's happening next, and why are we doing it. And the desire to connect with others because I really love helping people is very important to me. Step 2, defining the inner layer. I am driven by resilience, empathy, and a passion for transformation. I am wholeheartedly genuine. I have a heart of gold. I have a passion for helping others. I hold myself to a high standard. Integrity is a thing that is very important to me. I pride myself on being honest, clear, and concrete in everything that I say. I hold myself accountable, so I hold others to the same standard. I believe in the power of sharing your story and providing people with your testimony to know how you got to where you are now, how God blessed me to be here. And I think it's very important that people share their story. I love to share knowledge. I love elevating each other. I want to know what you know that I don't know. I love learning. I try to learn something new each and every day. And I try to build authentic connections. And I really struggle to build that level 4 connection with people because of my ability to hold people accountable. In today's society, it's very hard for people to be held accountable. A lot of people get on the defense when being questioned about why and how they're doing something. And I am very inquisitive, so it triggers people. But I've come to terms with that, and I do think God has blessed me with that gift to ask questions and to hold people accountable because He knows that I have the ability to elevate people. And to elevate people, you have to get into an uncomfortable place to become comfortable. Step 3, defining the outer layer of myself. I am a family liaison in a local school district. So in my work, I try to simplify complex situations. There's a lot of barriers around me that prevent families from sending their children to school. That is one of my biggest job duties, to figure out why children aren't coming to school. To decrease chronic absenteeism is one of my biggest job duties. And I do that by empowering parents with clear expectations on the attendance policy and clear expectations on how I can help them and how they can help themselves. I pride myself on providing resources and solutions to the problems that they share with me. I create spaces for growth. Holding people accountable is a space for growth. Some people want to grow and some people don't. Some people are ready to grow and some people aren't. And I have to be able to receive that and be receptive and be able to read the room in situations where people aren't ready to grow. Through communication, which is very important to me, I am very communicative. Like Signorelli discusses that with brands. I feel like the story brand process is kind of getting in front of the customer, the consumer, trying to figure out what they want, what they need to solve the problem, being proactive in that process. So I think like I pride myself on that. I try to figure out what's the next issue, what's next. And I think because I experienced postpartum depression with having my first daughter, and I had crippling anxiety, so that's one of the pros that came from overcoming that. I prayed to God to ask me, can He give me something to channel my anxiety in? And He blessed me with the ability to plan events and problem solve and come up with creative spaces, and I appreciate that, and I thank God for that each and every day, because my problem solving skills are impeccable. I do it through strategy. I do it through communication. I do it through transparency. Step 4 is what are important obstacles that I've been through. Postpartum depression was one of the biggest obstacles of my life. I found myself sitting in a dark room, not able to move, breathe, talk, and just crying. And I pray to God for me to overcome that feeling. And I'm so thankful to be where I am today. And I'm so thankful to not have gone through that with my second daughter. It reshaped my understanding of strength and self-compassion and the importance of mental well-being. I am an advocate for mental health. I empathize with all new mothers, because unless you are a mother, you have no idea how critical the time is after having a baby. It's a very sensitive time, and it needs to be handled with care and compassion. Through that experience, I found a deeper connection to myself, with God. That I had to go through that to get closer to God. And I thank God for that. Step 5 is defining the outer layer of the prospect. The outer layer of people who experience me. We know that the world is what it is right now, and it's hard for people to accept accountability. It's hard for people to communicate. It's hard for people to just be right now, because life is indeed lifing. When I engage with the world by sharing my insights and my way of building communities and using my experience to inspire and guide others, I do it with compassion and empathy. And I try to be kind, and I try to show grace, but I also pride myself on holding people accountable. And I want people to grow. To be comfortable, you have to get into an uncomfortable place, and you can't do that by staying stagnant. I try to remind others that they can change, that this is not how life has to be. You can make an action to redirect your path. You can pray to God for change. You can advocate for yourself. You can share your testimony to change. So I think that sometimes, me challenging people with accountability, it doesn't be received well. Step 6 is defining the inner layers of the prospect. So I think the world right now is just trying to survive, and people are just trying to survive. Eggs cost $20. I'm trying to survive. Signorelli's story brief process is amazing. I really enjoyed reading this book. It taught me a lot. I found myself analyzing brands